Hello, everybody. Festive and wedding seasons aren't just about celebrations anymore. These days, they actually become a part of work life too. One day you're in a meeting, the next day you're at a wedding. You meet investors, peers, and industry leaders. And impressions actually happens very naturally on what you wear, how you carry yourself, and how thoughtful your style feels. All of it quietly reflects confidence and credibility without you saying a single word. So, this rapid fire question and conversation mainly focuses on simple, practical style tips for professionals during wedding seasons. So, you look polished, appropriate, and true to who you actually are, never overdone or not out of place. Hi, this is Punita Parekh, and I'm from Mumbai and I'm an independent journalist. I would love to welcome you, Sukhvinder, who is the fashion stylist at StyleBuddy. Hi, Sukhvinder.
Hi, Punita. Thank you so much for having me, and I'm genuinely excited to be here. So, just a quick intro to everyone. I am Sukhvinder Jabbal, a high fashion stylist and designer based in Bangalore. I've been working in this industry for almost like 7 years now, working across everything from fashion runways and films to corporates and weddings. I have styled pretty diverse bunch actually, like celebrities, filmmakers, CEOs, founders, and working professional who needs to look sharp in the high stake meetings. So yeah, and right now I lead men's styling and heads the South India region at StyleBuddy. So we we don't just do about clothes. It's about helping people to show up with more confidence, clarity, and presence, whether it's a big boardroom meeting or a red carpet moment at Cannes or a wedding, where first impression matters. So I make sure my clients feels the like best version of themselves. So yeah, that's it about me.
Thank you so much, Sukhvinder, for the lovely introduction. So now we move on to the rapid fire questions. The first question is, what outfit rule every corporate leader should swear by this wedding season? Or what is it according to you, Sukhvinder?
Uh, the outfit rule actually works for everybody. It's like invest in structure, okay, layer with personality. So a sharply tailored for male clients specifically, a sharply tailored bangala or maybe a JP suit with a certain jewel tone always works for everybody. It can be any kind of Marilot shade, or it can be wine shade, or it could be like shade of midnight blue. It works for everybody, okay. And for it works actually certain body type, every body type has their own specification, okay. So if a person is a little bit more broader build, so we can offer vertical embroidery. So the same if someone is like a petite body or maybe a triangular shape where the shoulders are a little bit narrow, so that time we can enhance the personality with the help of Nehru jackets or maybe shoulder pads in achkans and all. So that works. So everyone, actually it's for everybody, all the body type. Everyone should follow and invest in good structured cloth and layer for this wedding season.
Absolutely. It's all about structuring your clothes for a leaner body. That's what your
Yes.
answer meant.
Yes, correct.
So, coming to the next question, Sukhvinder, day wedding or night reception? What's the quickest way to switch from boardroom to ballroom?
Wow. Okay. The quickest way to switch from boardroom to ballroom, it's just like it should be like a swap for crisp shirt directly from a silk kurta, maybe a kind of contemporary tone. If I'll talk about more about garments, and for men's, it can be like it can be like a silk kurta with statement stole, or maybe uh, uh, traditional or maybe vintage brooch or maybe jarrao mojri. It can be a good option. And the same thing for female client, it can be traditional saris with chokers and statement blouses. So that can be a quick change which we can use it for directly for a working professional. So yeah.
Absolutely. Coming to the next question, Sukhvinder, festive trend that works brilliantly for entrepreneurs but actually fails in corporate setting.
Oh wow, it's actually a tricky question though, because when it comes on corporate setting and business entrepreneurs, these are two different personalities. So printed cord set. If I have to give you a very generic example, so it can be like a printed cord sets, okay, oversized for floral motifs or quirky motifs. Okay, so that actually great for founders from the creative field or from the clothing brand or something like that. But it's going to be too relaxed for a traditional corporate circle, so they can be a little bit more overwhelmed for patterns and frame for those kind of settings. So I always say avoid prints or select your prints based on your surrounding circles, your gathering, and then go and select the print. So yeah, that could be an important point.
So what you're trying to say is that the vibe of the place decides your outfit.
Yes, it matters a lot. The kind of people you're going to interact with, because it's not about just clothing and wearing some kind of basic print. It's about expressing yourself without saying anything.
One styling mistake professionals make during holiday weddings.
During wedding, okay, it's always like ill-fitted clothes. Not only for ethnic, it can be for formal also. If it's not fitting you properly, that is a mistake everyone usually people do, because nobody have time to get the outfit stretched based on their body type. So first understand your body type properly, and then try to go and wear fitted clothes based on your body type. It's always going to flatten your body type or your personality. So that is a most of the time professionals make this mistakes and wearing ill-fitted clothes, especially the ethnic one, because usually nobody has time to go and give the trial. They just order online and get the stuff, wear it, and attend the wedding. So always select the right fitted outfit for yourself, and please give attention on the silhouette of the outfit and the fabric. These two, three important points. If a person, if you give a little more attention, then it could be best for you. So for an example, you can go for churidars, you can go for brooches, kurtas, whatever you are wearing. It's supposed to be fit you properly. And that's going to be keyword for this question.
Lovely. You know, a tricky question here. If you had to style a CEO for
Okay.
3 weddings in 3 days, what's your non-negotiable staple piece?
Mm, okay, for 3 days or n number of days, as I'm not just keeping it, but according to the question, for 3 days, a well-fitted ivory kurta set, it's a non-negotiable what the point for me, a piece, a staple piece for me. Why I'm saying, because it's actually a versatile outfit, and it should be there for each and every person. Should have this thing in their wardrobe, because these ivory silk kurtas or chanderi silk kurtas, okay, this can be styled versatile, in a versatile way. We can style it up. Either we can add a little bit more stole, we can add one stole, can be traditional one chanderi stole, and we can add it to that, or maybe we can add more brooches and jarao mojris. So that could be that going to be my, what do you say, a non-negotiable piece, as you mentioned. So a kurta set is always important, because the moment I saw this thing like a plain canvas, I can play around with prints and pattern, I can add more varieties, so I can create a number of look with that.
So what you're saying is that just make it look very, very simple yet elegant with a chanderi or a raw silk set.
Yeah, it depends on the setting again. As I said, even it's a wedding, also if it's a Sangeet outfit, let's talk about the occasion. If it's a Sangeet one, if someone is wearing a basic ivory kurta, how we can make it a little bit more standout? I can go for mirror work stone. But at the same time, if someone is wearing the same ivory kurta as a guest appearance, as a friend or something, I should suggest him to wear a certain Nehru jacket, like open jacket, based on their body type. So there I'm playing with the same base outfit in a different way.
I'm sure the CEOs listening would really find this very, very beneficial. So
Yes,
coming to
of
the
course.
next question, Sukhvinder, minimal
Okay.
or maximal, what truly works for corporate professionals at wedding festivities?
Oh, wow. Good question, actually. I appreciate that you asked this. Not only just for working professional, elevated minimal look. It's a win-win situation for everybody. If you just go a little bit minimal, then what do you say? Think about clean silhouettes. When I say okay, luxury fabric, and yeah, but one liner answer if I have to give, it's like a kind of elevated minimalist look. It can be a game changer for everybody. And personally, I'm a kind of minimal person. When it comes on styling somebody, we have to understand the personality and then we suggest. But yeah, because when I say minimal, it shouldn't be like a regular outfit. It can be any fabric we can select. We can go for luxury fabric. We can go for tussars. We can can go for velvet, okay, because the base fabric and the base outfit going to be a hero element for me, and then I can add character, adding some bold cuff in the outfit, or maybe statement dupattas for women's chokers, statement blouses. So we have so many varieties where we can play around. So yeah, always just be minimal. You can't be wrong.
Minimal always wins. Being minimalistic always makes you
Yes,
look better and beautiful, and it
yes,
enhances your beauty. So,
always.
coming to the next question, Sukhvinder, one color palette you recommend for professionals attending multiple weddings this season?
Oh, okay. One color palette. The thing is here, every year you'll have a color of the year. Okay. And we have to follow religiously these kind of things if you wish to look a little bit more trendy. But when it comes on Indian skin tone, we are not in a very cool situation or in a very warm skin tone. So we are in between neutral undertone. Most of the skin, what is Indian skin tone is like neutral skin tone. So when it comes on color palette, I always suggest my clients to wear a kind of jewel tone, maybe an emerald shade of wine, say shade of sapphire, blue or something like that, because it works on the time, the appearance, the occasion, and the decor. We have to think all these things in my mind, in the mind, before suggesting or selecting a color palette for an individual. So that is an important thing. But yeah, if I have to give an answer, so I always say a regular traditional jewel tone always work with monotone shades or muted hue, you can say. It always work for every skin tone.
My next question is heels or flats? What's your verdict for power dressing during festive seasons these days?
It depends. Again, it's actually a tricky question. Like, because when you say heels or flat, it depends on the personality who's gonna wear it, who's wearing it. Okay, so if a person is a little bit on a short heighted person, so I'll definitely suggest them to wear heels. But now coming to the practical part, because we can't just follow the fashion blindly, we have to think like that. It's going to be a practical thing for the client, so he or she can wear it. So when it comes on heel, I personally suggest for the wedding season they can go for block heels, they can go for wedges and all, they can wear it, but it's supposed to be have some kind of bling because it's a wedding season and it's a wedding outfit when you're pairing it with up. So it should have some embellishment, some embroideries, or a little bit of bling. Okay, so that is the important part. But when a person has a little bit good height, a person like if you are comfortable with your height and you don't have any issues, so we can always suggest them to wear
Yes.
flats. Flats can be anything but not the regular one. It's supposed to be have some embroidery, some element, some sparkle blink on it. Or safer option, if I have to suggest, I can suggest you a mojri or jadao mojri, because it's a statement piece also. So if you're wearing a, as a woman, if I have to suggest you, so it's if you're wearing a basic sari like a satin sari, you can go always go for jadao mojri, look good, or maybe a Indo-Western. You never go wrong with all these suggestions.
Correct. So basically, it actually depends on your body type. Basis that you can wear heels or flats.
Yeah, and the comfort is always a priority.
Absolutely. So my next question is, what's the fastest way to look festive without looking overstyled, Sukhvinder?
Okay. For that, you always have to be classic. So classic is it's not just a term, it's actually a thing. If you can understand what is your classic base and what kind of monochrome work for you, the color palette, then you never go wrong for any kind of festive season. So I always suggest my clients start with classic, start understand your base, okay, and then try to enhance this thing. You can go for layering, you can go for adding statement pieces. It's for both men and women, for both of them. First, understand your base, understand the classic outfit, the classic signature style, what your personality can carry, and then you can add any kind of statement pieces on it. It can be embellished dupatta, it can be a nice choker based on your neckline, the shoulder bones, and everything. If we consider that, so in this festive look, I always suggest just understand your classic and be a little bit more muted in terms of clothing line, and you can't be wrong in that.
Superb. One styling tip that instantly upgrades a professional's presence at any wedding function.
Oh, it's actually a good question though, because prioritize your fit and prioritize the understand the fabric what you're picking, because picking a right fabric according to your body type, it always works for everybody. Okay, and the fit, if the outfit fitting you properly, you look fantastic. If the fabric is if the fabric fall, okay, it's according to your body type, it's definitely going to work perfectly. So understand your body type and select the right fabric, right fit, and that can be a game changer for anything. Because for an example, let's talk about the body type. So I'm not going to go into detail, but I'm just telling you in a generic way. Like for example, if someone is a little bit more on a curve or hourglass body type, so that time we have to avoid the flowy fabrics like organzas and all. We have to see the fabric should fall a little bit more straight, so I'll get a little bit more structured body type. I'll have structure illusion of that certain body type. But sometime at the same time, if a person is a little bit or more on a slimmer body type, we can go for flowy fabrics, we can go for organza, we can go for silks and dairies, a little bit more harder fabrics, stiff fabric, something like that. So it purely based on the fabric selection. But in a generic way, if I have to answer this question, always prioritize the fit and choose the right fabric. That's it.
Absolutely. With that, we end this rapid fire questionnaire and conversation. Really, Sukhvinder, what really I learned from this and what stood out from this conversation was festive dressing for professionals isn't about doing more, but it's about being minimalistic and doing it right. Either you pick a
Yes.
versatile outfit or you keep clean colors. Remember that sometimes less looks better. Your style should actually support you and not steal attention. These days, weddings and festive events are actually becoming a part of your professional world too. So when you dress well, you actually look very confident, show up very beautifully, polished, and you look in control. That's what I have learned from this conversation. So, Sukhvinder, I would really like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for explaining wedding season styling so beautifully and so clearly. I'm sure this kind of advice will really help a lot of leaders in today's generation. Thank you so much once
Definitely,
again.
definitely. Thank you so much, Punita, for having me. And it was absolute, what do you say, joy. And I'm glad that I'm able to share my styling lens with you. And thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. And thank you for having me today.
Thank you so much to all the audience. And remember, keep it simple and keep it stylish. That's what we always believe in at Style Buddy. Thank you.
All right.